We begin tonight with the Wisconsin Senator Ron Johnson. He is a member of the Homeland Security Committee. Senator Johnson, thanks for being back here on the Hill. Appreciate the time, sir. You heard there from the Vice President last night out on the trail. She said that Trump tanked the deal. She wasn't wrong, Senator, on that front. But I wonder what the response is going to be from your...
Blake, she is
How
wrong.
so?
I don't know of personally any Republican senator that got a call from Donald Trump telling us to tank that deal. It was an awful bill. It tanked itself in less than 24 hours. It would have codified.
Yeah, I take you on your word. Sorry, I take you on your word that you didn't get a phone call, but he did make his sentiments known publicly, right?
So what? It was an awful bill. It would have codified an awful lot of President Biden's open border policy. It would have weakened the authority of a president who is serious about clearing the border. It was an awful bill. It should not have been passed. So again, you can't blame Donald Trump on that. It was an awful bill. Unfortunately, Mitch McConnell negotiated in secret, gave Democrats political cover. But again, it was an awful bill, and it's undeniable that President Biden had the authority to. He opened up the border. He has the authority to close it. We have been happy to strengthen that authority, but that's not what that bill did.
So how are you going to, Senator, and how are Republicans, how is Donald Trump going to counter what we've heard from the Vice President in the last day, which is just that? The message was, and maybe you heard it at the top of the show, that he tanked the bill, and that's what he did. Whether you say he did or did not, that's going to be their message. How do you counter it?
The way I would do it, what I would do is I would use my chart that showed that once President Trump had his peak, within 12 months, he dropped encounters down to a little over 500 a day on average. Then he instituted Title 42, so by the time the Biden administration took over, most people that were encountered were being returned. He let very few people in. It was Biden that reversed, using something like 90 executive orders, all the successful border security policies of the Trump administration, opened up the border. He wanted an open border. He caused the problem. The only reason he's responding now is because the mainstream media finally, after a couple of years, stopped covering up for him. But again, he let in millions of people that would never have been let in under President Trump's border security policies.
I know you got to the camera just in time, and just so you're aware, we did go through the numbers right off the top. Let me ask you, though, Senator, because the numbers have been coming down here in the recent months as the president has taken executive action. July 2024 is the lowest monthly numbers since 2021. Is it working?
Yeah, Blake. So again, he had the executive authority to close the border. He never used it until it became a political liability. But again, he ended Title 42. So they're still letting in massive numbers of people. On average, it's been 7,000 people per day under the Biden administration. This has been a catastrophe. We're going to be dealing with the ramifications of the Democrat open border policy for years, if not decades to come. It's obvious. Just look at the chart.
Let me leave you with this, Senator, because you are on the Homeland Security Committee, as I mentioned. You're also on the Banking and Finance Committees. And I look at your state, Wisconsin. We're looking live in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Our poll from the Hill and Emerson College shows the top issue is the economy. In Pennsylvania, 50%. In Wisconsin, 42%. And I heard Jay Powell today, the Fed chair, Senator, essentially sort of give a little bit of a nod to the idea that, you know what, interest rate cuts might happen in September. And I just wonder if that happens 60 days before the election, or less than that, about 50 days before the election, if Democrats are going to come out and say, you know what, we've gotten to the other side of this thing, and if that happens, and if they do, what do Republicans then say?
Well, they haven't got to the other side because of their massive deficit spending. A dollar you held at the start of the Biden administration is only worth 83 cents. That damage has already been done. It's irreversible. They're going to continue their war on fossil fuels. They will continue with their open border policy. Again, the encounters may be down slightly, but they're still letting massive numbers of illegal immigrants into this country, and that's going to cost us billions as well.
Thank you for watching, and make sure you go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.